People, I'm back on Ball Sense, and what a great game of football it was last night. A great night for football in general. This is a review of the game for the Juventus versus Atletico game. Great game, obviously. You, as people must have heard, the Ronaldo show. It was the Ronaldo show. It was on full flow. It was a dream night, and it was just what everyone as a football fan waited for and what we hoped for it will be. Ronaldo hat trick to turn it around, take Juventus through, and it was just all in all a dream. But I'm gonna look at this game, look at and pick out some key players in this game that were besides Ronaldo that for me really stood out. I have to say that the entire Juventus team were excellent on the night, and they just really fought hard and believed right up until the 95th minute, until the end of extra time, and they just really gave everything. Um, for me, one of the players that stood out the most, besides obviously Cristiano, was João Cancelo, the right back. He was incredible on the night. Uh, Pace, did not lose any of the passes, was always looked to take on his man and beat him. And it was an excellent performance from him on the night. And really, if you were to watch that game, he was like a standout player, and he would easily catch your eye, and he would like make you say, okay, who is that guy? You know, João Cancelo, he's a top player. He's Portuguese. He was at Inter last season and was at Valencia beforehand, and he is just what his improvement, the level that he's shown from Inter and from Valencia to Juventus now is just almost like 100% because it's just incredible. It's a completely different player. Like he was good, but he's just taken his performances to another level, and he was a standout player. Another player that really stood out for me was Federico Bernardeschi. Uh, Again, top player, and on the night, excellent player. Um, People would have been surprised when the lineups came out. Allegri uh, did drop Dybala and played Bernardeschi instead, and people would have been looking at that and saying, wow, why is Dybala not playing? And such a big game, they need 3 goals. You want your best attacking players to play. Why is Dybala not? Why is Bernardeschi playing instead of Dybala? But he proved his worth, and he proved that it was the right decision from Allegri to start him ahead of Dybala. And he was just an outstanding player on the night. Kept running until the end, even in the 94th minute, chasing down loose balls and trying to win tackles. You know, he won the penalty as well as had an assist for Ronaldo. And for me, he was just a 10 out of 10 player. Really, really stood out. He's an Italian international, and all in all, he's a top class player, Federico Bernardeschi. Another player who stood out for me was Spinazzola. He was the left back on the night. Right-footed player, usually plays right back, but really stood out. Took on his man again every opportunity that he could. Um, did fade off towards the end a little bit, which is why they substituted him late on because they wanted to get uh, more attacking players on to score goals, and he was just really good on the night as well. It was a big game for him because it was his first start in the Champions League. So therefore, when you keep that in mind, it was a great performance from him. Another player who might not get enough mention for me, but was a key piece because he did the biggest role, I would say, tactically, was Emre Can. Why? Simply because if you look at the way Juventus set up, if you watch the game again, you will look that tactically Emre Can, when without the ball, had to cover in the right back spaces and be a ball playing defender and not push up because João Cancelo was always caught up because of his crosses, and he was always there. And with the ball, he had to be closer to Pjanic. So he had almost like a dual role, and that was very important tactically because Emre Can has to read the game and understand when they don't have the ball for him to drop back, sorry, and read the danger of where the striker drifts and basically cut out the space that Alvaro Morata gets into, or the other winger Griezmann, or any of the attacking players get into when João Cancelo is not there. At the same time, when Juventus do have the ball and the ball gets switched, he needs to step in to the midfield role alongside Pjanic and then help as an outlet. He was always available whenever Pjanic needed it, and because of his ball playing skills as a midfielder, he had to play that crucial part where he had to sometimes distribute the ball from midfield but keep it simple, and also he had to play the ball out from defense and not just hoof it up. So that was a key tactical element, and I felt that that is Emre Can has really earned all the plaudits just for that. Those who will watch the game, they will understand what I'm saying. Um People don't really see much of him, like, oh, does he score goals? Does he do this? Does he do that? He's not always the person that catches your eye, but he is such a crucial player because his overall understanding of the game is brilliant and his reading of the game is brilliant. And at the top level, you need that. It's not 10 Ronaldos are not going to win you a game, although people would like to think it. You need some players that can offer you something different, and Emre Can was definitely that player on the night. Um, Also, I have to say that I was a bit disappointed with the way Atletico was set up. Yes, we all knew that they would set up defensively and try to see it out, but when you go away from home and you look to defend for 90 minutes, it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. And I would have expected Diego Simeone to know that when you go away from home in these kind of Champions League games against big teams, against players like Ronaldo, Messi, you have to go and look for that away goal. If you offer nothing and you just soak the pressure for 90 minutes, you're gonna lose. The mentality is not there. You're not gonna be able to see out a game for 90 minutes against this kind of top level players and this kind of quality. So the fact that Atletico, if you look at the stats, had 4 shots, 0 on target, one big chance for Morata, but it was kind of a difficult chance because he was running back and couldn't time his jump. So if you look at what Atletico offered, attacking wise, it's very disappointing because I think if Atletico had one away goal, they would have gone through. It was that simple. But you know, they let the talk beforehand get to them. They let the occasion get to them, and therefore it was just a bad decision for Diego Simeone to tactically to set up like that. I know Diego Costa was suspended, but still, you've got players like Angel Correa, you've got players like Griezmann, Saul, you've got players like Morata, and it's just naive and very it's not very smart to set up and not go for an away goal when you know that one away goal changes the uh, entire outcome of the game, because then it also affects Juventus players mentally and they have to do more. It gives your own players a boost, and it just makes such a big difference on a Champions League night to go for an away goal. So I think Allegri got it wrong there, but that's that. All in all, it was a great night. I'm looking forward to the Champions League games tonight, and I won't keep you here much longer. There will be a Europa League review for the second legs. Tune into that. Stay tuned, and there will also be a scout watch of Eintracht Frankfurt and Inter Milan. Again, like I said before, some really top players on both teams to look out for. Some really young players as well, and some players that could be making moves in the summer. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do and how they get on. So that's it from me, guys. Stay tuned for more. Thank you for tuning in.